Ruski's Crypto Cave. We're out in the shed here today. We're going to be taking a look at this Octominer number 8, Clapper rig number 2, which has 8 CMP100-210s in there. And I noticed this a while ago, and actually I just went back and checked some older videos to see about when it only showed 7 cars instead of the 8. And the video I uploaded on the 16th of October, about when Oleo started tanking down to like $2, which now it's only like $1.50. We wish it was at $2. It still showed 8 cards in there, but the power usage was 100 and some watts lower than what the number 7 rig is right here. So we're gonna shut this one down, take a look at it, and do some little bit of troubleshooting. KS2 is still on. I hit the payout amount. I think I'm just gonna let that run until Saturday and then shut it off, or might just shut it off today. It's not profitable. It's probably losing a buck and a half a day, if not more. So it's not really worthwhile to keep that running past below stagnant. Pretty close to where I want to be as far as a global CASPA. Not quite, but getting kind of tired of eating the power on that one. So anyway, we're back to the topic of this video. Octo number 8. We got 1 card missing, 1 card not showing up. So we're just going to do some simple troubleshooting and see what we can figure out. So I'm going to get this rig shut down and get it pulled out. Set up on my little chair here, or up there, one of the two, and we'll take a look at it and see what we can find out. Alrighty, we got the lid off and just going through, feeling the cars. That one's warm, that one's warm, that one's cold. This one could be the culprit. That one's got a little bit of heat, a little warm, not much. Yeah, a little warm, and a little warm. Not as cold as this one. So I believe this is the culprit. So I'm going to pull this card out, reseat it, just do some simple things, check cables, because all these cables are kind of a mess in here, and just make sure all that stuff is all right. And maybe just see if it's something like as simple as power cables. Those are just all dusty. So yeah, this is the guy here. This is the coldest one, so I'm going to pull that guy out and see what we've got. See if that is the problem child. Being that it is the coldest one, I kind of think it's going to be, but you never know. If it's something more than just like a loose cable, loose connection, need to be reseated, or reseated in the PCI slot. Not sure, but we're going to take it out, tinker around with it, and then fire it back up and see if it works. Got the card out. Doesn't look like there's any visible damage or anything. Nothing cooked. Cables are alright. They seem to be plugged in decently, hooked in. Doesn't look like the pins are messed up inside or anything, so don't know. So it's either, I mean, it could be the strand coming off the power supply. It could be something inside the power supply, technically. It could be something with that power going to the motherboard. But that's clicked in there good. It could be just that PCI port went bad. Or it could have been just a loose connection. So, I don't know. We'll see. We're going to try the whole loose connection thing. If that doesn't fix it, then it might be something deeper. And it might be actually something with the board itself, or inside the power supply, or the card itself is shot. So I can also try it on a test bench. I say I have that kind of shut down, not hooked up anymore. I used to be able to run that to flash the BIOS on my RX 580s back in the day. I mean, it probably still works. You just got to unplug a whole bunch of other stuff to plug that thing back in, or move it to another spot. So, but I'm just gonna try plugging this back in. Hopefully we get lucky and it works. I mean, I guess it could be something there, but nothing. I mean, it's dirty, yes, but it's clipped in there pretty good. The Panda sniff test passes. It doesn't smell like anything burnt, so we'll see. Alright, you got our plug back in and reseat it nice and firm. It's in there good. I kind of pulled some of these wires out so they're not all mashed down in front of the fans. So maybe it could have been just something bent, and maybe you wanted, maybe that adapter cable broke too. So I don't know, but we're gonna plug it back in, see if it works, and we'll go from there. And then the next step would be, if that doesn't work, then I'm going to pull the card out again and try it in another rig and just see if it's recognized and boots up and stuff, and then we'll determine if this card's good or not. So let's get this fired back up. Alrighty, we got her fired back up. Just give her a few seconds to boot into MMPOS. Some random number calling me. Decline. Get the phone out, and I'm in here on my phone. Let me get back out. Let me refresh it. Still says it's down. Well, what do you know? Can you read that? 8 workers. As you see, I did switch the CMP cards over to Zealous. Zealous is having a nice little pumperooski. Look out. Get in here. 8 workers. That's good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I can count in Spanish. That's about it. Yep. 8 workers up and running. Too bad all troubleshooting and fixes weren't that simple. It usually doesn't work out that easy, but hey, sometimes it does. Sometimes it's just like a loose connection. I mean, because it is been sitting here on its side, so there is like pressure and all those wires were jammed in there. If one wasn't quite in there right, it could have been that. What I probably should do is look into getting some better miner cables. But I might have to change the power supply too, though, so I don't know. I have to figure that out. But because it'll clean up all those damn all those power cables jammed in there by the fans, because it's a little bit of a tight fit in there. But for now, we're back up in hashing with 8 cards. Everything else is still up and running. That's it. Yeah, pretty much everything's up and running just the way it is. Yeah, you can even see the power usage is over 5,000. I probably wasn't recorded when I first walked in, but that was at like 49 something. So, but yeah, everything's still up and running. The only two changes I did make, like I said, the CMP cards are on Zealous now. Those two still mining Bitcoin, Aleo. 3060 Ti's are still actually on Zealous. 3070s are on Aleo. 3070 Ti's on Aleo. And then the 1660 Ti's, which is, I still have them up and running. They're in the garage. They are mining Celeste AI. So this is a spec rig, so I'm going to mine a spec coin and use that rig for doing that. So actually, I really like those EVGA 1660 Ti cards. They're nice cards. So I might hang on to them for a little bit longer and just mine some spec coins and see if I can get a lottery on them. So But, oh, and the last thing went out in the shed, I did set up a winter automation, so I just basically have the top 2 fans running. I have the minimum speed of 1, and then if it drops below 50, they turn off. Then once it hits 75, every 3 degrees above 75, it kicks up 1 or 2 speeds. So we're at, like, it looks like at a speed of 3. It's reading 78 degrees in here. Nice and comfortable. It is 47 degrees outside. So bottom fans are off. And I think throughout the whole winter, just the top 2 fans is going to be plenty. Just to keep this at a 75 to 90 degree range in that ballpark. Should be good. So, I believe BNP3 is still sitting there. KD Box Pro. I'm probably going to get that KD Box Pro, clean that up, throw it on eBay, see whatever I get for it. Mini Doge is still running. So, and J Pro Plus. I'm either going to see if I can turn it on, see how efficient I can get that once I turn the KS2 off. And if I'm not happy with it, then I'll just say screw it, maybe just clean it up, throw it on eBay, and get rid of it. It looks like they're probably selling for $500-600 or something like that now, so take what I can get, move on. But anyway, that's it for this video. Hopefully any new people out there give you some ideas as far as some of the simple things to look for troubleshooting. Sometimes it could be just simple as pulling the card out, putting it back in. And that's it. So sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. There's a saying in the business that I'm in that sometimes, some days you're the hammer, some days you're the nail. So, and sometimes it's easy, sometimes you just get clobbered and beating your head up over something and can't figure things out. So, luckily for me today, easy fix. So, alrighty, until next video, we'll catch you later.